Young ladies and gentlemen, Russia has just frightened the British to their utmost degree. This that Russia did to aircraft British battle on this November 19th, 2025 is simply incredible. London has triggered the highest alert level, maritime level in the skies, throughout the entire territory national. Russia has engaged in a provocation unprecedented. No, we don't know what the Russia is playing, but the Russia is merely demonstrating its strength and its power. Yes, a fighter jet. British citizens were severely targeted. Russia has blinded some moments the fighter jet. The British were forced to find other urgent solutions and fast, otherwise it would have been ruined. So what is really going on? China traumatizes the British in through listening to their different vehicles and other things. And here is Russia also, who does not tolerate it at all. Ladies and gentlemen, as part of this video conference dedicated to world news, it is, of course, this news that let's talk. But before we continue, agree to share the conference at maximum. Give lots of likes, most importantly, and then click on the button, share and subscribe if it's your first time stumbling upon my video conference. Here, we talk about current events, international, well-filtered, the good real-time and analyzed information at 180 degree. It is here and nowhere else. So, let's delve into the depths, please. Rest assured that you have shared the video, the conference. So, the raw facts, it's a Russian ship which targeted fighter jets. British and London is calling it a provocation severe. Where did the initial incident happen? It's a Russian spy ship of the type Yantar, a warship. But this warship, its function is to spy. So this ship, Russian spy, was spotted at the edge in the waters north of the British Isles. They have spotted there were fighter jets that were there. So these are fighter jets from the Royal Air Force Fleet, therefore aircraft of the Patria of surveillance. These are the ones that are often sent to monitor, these planes were sent to monitor the ship, to follow the ship because they spotted the ship. Russia did nothing else. The Russian spy ship launched lasers for targeting in times of war. That's how it's happening. The ship is sending lasers, they blind fighter jets, and then that's when we fire the missiles. But the Russia did not press the die. The Russia didn't fire, but they launched lasers, and then the fighter jets were blinded. He couldn't see the roads. Oh no, that's very, very scary for British. But it was they who had provoked. They came to follow the ship, and the Russia said, okay, there is no problem. Russian soldiers said, okay, we're going to show them what we're made of. We are capable. From up there in the sky, the ship launched the lasers. Oh no, it was dazzling. It's causing panic. London. So the targeting of aircraft British, according to the British Ministry of Defense, the Russian ship directed lasers on RAF aircraft, the Royal Air Force. And for London, this targeting for London, this is hostile targeting because it can blind and disorient the pilots. So this is a technique that is used in wartime to mark a target. As I was saying, in times of war, we use this technique, we mark the target, then engage. And so we're not yet in the missile launches, but it's a targeting operation. And that's a very strong message that the Russia sent a message to London saying, we don't watch me. So what was the reaction? Immediate from the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom overwhelmed by the aberration, unacceptable for the United Kingdom. It is an unacceptable provocation. But who prompted them to go and monitor the Russian ship? The Russians are here. They haven't done anything to you, Sid. They are spying, by the way, but they didn't go. They didn't get you. Touch. So it must be said, therefore, that as part of the reaction from London, London deployed another ship, the Royal Navy ship. The Royal Navy building is a warship. It was deployed automatically to track the ship Russian loan. And so the armed forces received instructions to switch to heightened level of vigilance around maritime approaches and airlines of the country. So at the moment when I am talking to you about maritime approaches H and in the skies, in the British sky, there are intense patrols that are there because they were genuinely scared. They wonder, but what did Russia want to do? What did Russia want to do? The British political message which is behind this. London is to warn Moscow that he is ready to do in the face of any incursion, and that he will not leave his pilots to be targeted without response. Chi, the deployment of the Royal Building Navy, the warship, is the political message that London is sending to Russia. And in communication, emphasis is placed on the fact that this act demonstrates the entry in a new era of how we will say of hard power. In any case of this is a serious rift between Russia and Great Britain. So the repercussions, the thing about this situation is that it has been simply a controlled escalation. This is a Cold War posture in sea. This is a sign of weakness of the West. That's it for the United Kingdom. This alert describes that we are not yet in the war, but we must prepare to enter at war with Russia, because at that moment it can trigger. And the way the lasers blinded the fighter jets and pilots, the pilots could fire and we would automatically be in the thick of it. So finally, and London is using this incident to justifying its rise to power. Military personnel on its shores to say that yes, Russia provoked us, but we were able to do such and such. So ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, here is what for the moment it happened. We'll continue to follow it. The news, everything that's going on to follow, we'll come back to talk about it here, of course, on your much loved platform, the platform for raising awareness. Just now,